Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Pete on the Beat. In this video I would like to discuss with you something that I've mentioned in one of my previous videos. This is actually exactly how I got the inspiration to film this video, and most definitely Joe Rogan is right when he says that the only way to get new ideas in your head is by turning on the camera and start filming and start speaking in front of the camera. This is definitely true for me. So the thing that I'm talking about is less is more on 1 meal a day plan when it comes to building muscle, and of course when the 1 meal a day plan is applied to a proper diet. So in this video I would like to briefly share with you my personal experience with some of the highly recommended by the fitness industry techniques in order to prevent your body from getting into the catabolic processes. Hands down, this is probably my favorite myth, like preventing your body from getting into the catabolic processes with 6 to 8 smaller meals per day, consuming all of the highly recommended aspartame packed whey protein shakes and all of that crap. So for those who don't know, I was not eating 1 meal a day plan during my whole life. This is probably obvious, but I really want to point this out. Until the end of 2013, I used to follow the highly recommended principles by the fitness industry, like top-notch fitness magazines, fitness models, top-notch fitness YouTubers, egg whites and oats during the morning. Those were the clean carbs, not the sex touches, but the clean carbs. Oatmeal packed with gluten, the cheapest, leanest possible protein sources, like grain fed, hormone injected, antibiotic fed chickens, chicken breast, because this is how you build muscle. This is the only way to build lean muscle tissue. I was carrying a shaker with me when I was at the gym in order to prevent the catabolic processes. With the protein shake, basically I was following what some of the people call a broad diet as a true gym rat. Like I was true gym rat. True gym rats with no lets. Shout out to Chris Jones. This is such a good quote. Gym rats with no lets, one of my favorites, by the way. So anyway, I definitely built some muscle, like hands down. Like this is the truth. I built some muscle for 3 years. I was avoiding the ghost of overtraining. I broke like 3 scales because I was constantly measuring the amounts of food that I was consuming on a day-to-day basis. And yeah, this was basically it. I really don't want to even talk about it, but I'm gonna put it like this in order to help you understand better exactly what I'm talking about. Those years were probably the most unproductive years during my whole life, literally, like literally. So what happened on top of everything was the fact that I was never able to see my abs. I was never able to see my veins, the vascularity. I was not able to get that definition on a day-to-day basis, as you can probably see. I was pretty flat, puffy, bloated, and yes, I always had this moon face effect going. Virtually year-round, I was with the moon face effect going. So at this point, guys, I'm pretty sure you already got the idea. So what happened when I made this transition from the 2 meals per day with the steaks and eggs diet? You probably already know the whole story if you're a subscriber to this YouTube channel. And I started eating 1 meal a day, eating the totally opposite of the highly recommended by the fitness industry foods. So I was consuming back then mostly whole eggs, but instead of buying the cheapest eggs and removing their egg yolk, I started to eat stupid amount of eggs. For example, 7 to 8 eggs at least per day with my 1 meal a day. Whole eggs, free range, large size eggs. And instead of buying the cheapest chicken breast in a bulk, I was consuming grass-fed beef with some hormone-free, antibiotic-free organic chicken, whole chicken. So what happened for 1 year? For 1 year, I was able to build like 4 times or probably 5 times the amount of muscle mass I've built for those 3 years before. On top of everything, without virtually tracking anything, because if you're familiar with the original meat and eggs diet by Vince Gironda is definitely not the proponent of tracking calories. If you're an old school fan of the golden era, you probably already know this. The whole concept of the diet is based around consuming unlimited amounts of meats, eggs, fishes, some cream, full fat, half and half. I was using sour cream. I did it with 2 meals per day for quite a while, and this is how I made my transition to 1 meal a day plan. But when I started eating 1 meal a day plan, I made like most of my gains. I made most of my gains for 1 year, and on top of everything, I was able to get some amazing benefits as bonus, because when I started lifting during those 3 years with the protein shakes and all that, I was never able to hit a vacuum pulse. I was never able to really see my abs. I was never able to get the vascularity going and all that. And on top of everything, I was pretty like, I felt that I'm never gonna be able to get that like smaller waist, so I'm gonna be able to hit a vacuum pose, because I'm huge fan of the vacuum posing. This is something that I really miss when I look at the modern day aesthetics. Don't get me wrong, I really fuck with the fitness models. I really like some of the fitness models. I'm inspired by them, but I really miss this like vacuum posing, especially on front relaxed type of a pose, or most muscular with vacuum pose, in my personal opinion, is like sick as fuck. And besides the vacuum pose, I was not able to really get like fuller. I really want to be able to be fuller. So when I started eating 1 meal a day, in complete controversy, I immediately was able to do both. I became like a lot fuller. I started to seeing some fibers and all that. No dieting, zero dieting, and I was doing basically the totally opposite of what I was told. I was consuming all of those high cholesterol foods. I was not consuming any carbohydrates. So as a conclusion, I was able to build like 5 times the amount of muscle mass that I've built for 3 years, for 1 year. On top of everything, I stay pretty lean year round. This is how I look like year round, and I'm pretty out of shape right now. This is like I'm out of shape, completely out of shape right now. I do not track anything, but let me clear this up. I definitely eyeball my protein, and the reason for this is because I hit a body part a lot more frequently than the average or the regular guy. It depends how you prefer to call it. And on top of everything, based on my observations, based on experimenting with tons of stuff, I figured out that I'm also one of those guys that does a lot better on a bit higher amounts of protein. I'm becoming fuller, thicker, and my waist is getting smaller, and my brain performance is to the roof, like literally comparing to the previous years and whatnot. So the thing that I would like to encourage you to do, guys, especially if you really want to build muscle, if you really want to make those gains, you know, so the thing that I would like to encourage you to do, instead of buying all those protein powders, all those supplements highly recommended by the fitness industry and whatnot, for 1 month, start to consume all of your daily caloric intake or food intake, depends on how you prefer to call it, in smaller feeding windows, so you're gonna be able to allow your body and your digestive system to really rest and detox. And believe it or not, this will help you to absorb everything better as well. And instead of buying the leanest, cheapest eggs or egg whites in your local area and only lean proteins, cheapest lean proteins, start to do the completely opposite. So instead of buying huge amounts and overtaxing your digestive system by constantly consuming those huge amounts of grain-fed, hormone-injected, antibiotic fed, I don't know how to call this, chickens, start to consume complete proteins like fatty fishes, as possible in your local area, complete proteins, and start to consume half of the amount of food that you consume. Do it for 1 month, and as long as for the training, do mostly high volume resistant training. Always exercise during the fasted state, combine isolation movements and compound movements. You're gonna be able to get best of both worlds this way, and do it for a month, and let me know in the comment section under one of my future videos, I guess, or in the comment section under this video. Just do it for a month. You probably already tried plenty of the highly recommended fitness techniques, and probably since you watch this video they do not work for you, or probably you feel like they're not the best option, or there is some doubt in your soul, in your mind. So I highly recommend you to do this for a month. Those simple recommendations, just follow those simple recommendations for a month and see what is going to happen, and let me know. As you can probably see, I do not try to sell you anything. It's the totally opposite. I'm suggesting you to try some lifestyle that is not based on consumption. You see, this is why this Omad thing is not popular, because the Omad thing is not based on consumption. This lifestyle is not based on consumption, it's based on the totally opposite. It's based on the idea of conserving energy, conserving this energy that is already available in form of stillborn fat or muscle glycogen, and basically invest and use this energy in the really important things in your life. This is the whole purpose of this lifestyle for me, and this is, in my personal opinion, the main reason why this lifestyle will never get popular. So yeah guys, this is basically everything I wanted to say in this video. I have so much fun filming them videos. I highly suggest you to give these simple recommendations a try. So yeah, I would like to thank you for watching this video. Please stay tuned for more. Have a nice one. Keep eating one meal a day, and of course make those gains. Peace.